I'm Naomi Steinberg, and I am the Director of Refugee Council USA. Refugee Council USA is a coalition of 25 organizations, including the 9 national resettlement agencies, but also a variety of organizations that focus on a diverse set of refugee protection issues. And our purpose is to do combined advocacy work here in Washington, D.C., and to be authority on refugee resettlement and integration in the United States. Resettlement really takes place at the local level, and if the receiving communities are not aware of who the refugees are and the contributions they are making to those local communities, we also certainly run the risk of it not being a fully successful process. You can't resettle into a community if the receiving community doesn't know who you are, because if they don't know who you are, that just breeds opportunities for misperceptions, tensions, fears. So in order for that to be a really beneficial process for both the newcomers and those who have been in the communities longer, there has to be a concerted effort to make sure that everybody understands why refugees have arrived and the great contributions they make to local communities. In communities where people are well informed and understand who refugees are, they tend to be the most welcoming. They tend to have the least amount of questions and tend to be the most enthusiastic about the vast contributions that refugees bring. So it's from the very, very local level. It's about resettlement agencies reaching out to local partners and doing education and awareness raising. It's about refugee communities themselves reaching out to others in the communities, whether it's police, hospitals, schools, local municipal governments, to explain who it is that they are. It's about very basic relationship building from the very local level all the way up throughout the community. But it has to be a very thoughtful process. It doesn't just happen automatically. It's about creating opportunities for dialogue, and it's about being aware of when there are potential tensions bubbling under the surface to be proactive to address them before they blow up into something that could be cause for concern. Well, opportunities for dialogue take place every day, but more concerted efforts can really revolve around inviting people to a refugee organization for a cultural event, having thought-out processes to involve refugee parents in school dialogues about education, making sure that there is a liaison between the refugee community and, let's say, the hospital board or the mayor's office, really making sure that there is consistent education at all levels, in the media, at churches, other faith-based organizations, to explain that refugees are there for a very specific reason and that they are contributors to the local communities. So anytime that you have people gathering together, that's a good time to talk about the positive aspects of refugee resettlement. I think Welcoming America has really been a push that many of us have needed to start thinking more coherently, in a more holistic fashion about the role of receiving communities. To be sure, resettlement organizations have always had very strong relationships with local communities, and that is part of their mission, part of their work, to make sure that there is a collaborative relationship between them and the broader receiving community. But Welcoming America has really given us the tools and the new perspective about how to make concrete steps towards improving those relationships or establishing new relationships. It's just really given us the time and the resources to step back and think about, are we reaching out to receiving communities? Where could we do this better? And they've given us a new way of talking about it and a new way of thinking about it. So for those organizations who have been doing this work for decades, it's just new tools, new ways of moving forward in a very concrete way. So instead of just saying it theoretically, we need to communicate differently with the receiving community. They are giving us tools to do so. I think one of the things that we're really finding is that it's the economic argument on top of the humanitarian argument that really makes a difference. We've started to see, I would say, some real improvement in terms of the general conversations there about who refugees are and why they're important members of the community. But it seems to me that I've had the luxury of having a welcoming community and living with a close family and in a close-knit community, and everybody should have that. Everybody should feel that they live in safety and that they're thriving. It's just a part of who we are as a country, and it's a part of my day-to-day work.